We live in a paradox. We have more comfort than ever, more convenience than ever. Yet for many people over 50, life feels duller, slower, emptier. That fatigue, that low motivation, that restlessness, it's not just aging. It's your brain's dopamine system running on empty. Dopamine isn't just about pleasure. It's about motivation, focus, and the ability to feel alive. In modern life, too much sitting, too much screen time, too much overstimulation hijacks this system. But here's the surprising truth: you can reset it. And you don't need pills, fancy gadgets, or grueling workouts. You just need motion. Movement is not exercise in the way most of us think. It's neurochemistry in action. Every deliberate stretch, before, twist, or step sends signals to your brain's reward circuits. It recalibrates your dopamine levels, restoring focus, energy, and joy. Japanese elders have been practicing this for centuries. They don't chase high-intensity routines or push through exhaustion. Instead, they move with intention, small, rhythmic, daily actions. And science now confirms it's steady. Mindful movement maintains dopamine tone, prevents burnout, and promotes cognitive health. So for anyone over 50, here's a practical framework to reset dopamine and restore vitality. The morning stretch ritual: begin each day with slow, deep stretches, arms overhead, side bends, spinal extensions. This wakes up your nervous system and signals the brain, get ready for life. Stand on one foot, shift weight, close your eyes if safe. Balance exercises strengthen neural connections in the cerebellum, key for movement and dopamine regulation. The gratitude walk: take a short walk outdoors, mentally noting things you're grateful for. Pairing motion with emotional awareness enhances dopamine release naturally. The seated twist: from a chair, twist gently side to side. Spinal mobility increases blood flow, relieves tension, and subtly stimulates the nervous system. The micro bend reset: during long periods of sitting, do small knee bends or partial squats. These micro movements interrupt stillness and keep reward circuits engaged. The evening slowdown: finish the day with rhythmic breathing, side stretches, and gentle spinal movements. Brings dopamine back to baseline, preparing your brain and body for restorative sleep. Dopamine isn't something to fight, it's your compass. It tells you what engages you, excites you, and motivates you to move through life. But modern stillness dulls this compass. Movement restores it. You don't have to push harder, run faster, or train like an athlete. You just have to move intentionally every day in ways your body and brain understand. Over 50, if you've been feeling sluggish, unmotivated, or just a little disconnected from life, it's not because you're failing or because your best days are behind you. It's because your brain's dopamine system, the very chemical that drives motivation, pleasure, and engagement, has quietly been running low. Modern life has a way of hijacking it. Too much sitting, too much screen time, too many distractions, and too little intentional movement slowly dull the circuits that make life feel alive. But the good news is, it's never too late to reset it. You can bring your brain back online, reignite your energy, and feel vibrant again. And it starts with small, consistent habits that restore your body, your mind, and your joy. Movement is the cornerstone of this reset. Not grueling workouts or running marathons, but deliberate, gentle motions that reconnect your body and your nervous system. Imagine your brain as a river, flowing freely when stimulated with the right currents, but clogged and stagnant when left still. Simple, rhythmic movement clears that river, sending signals to your brain's reward centers, restoring motivation, focus, and even emotional balance. Japanese elders have known this instinctively for centuries. They rise, they bend, they stretch, they walk. Their bodies may age, but their energy, their vitality, their joy in small daily acts does not fade. And the science confirms it. Every intentional movement you make keeps dopamine cycling naturally, preventing burnout and keeping your brain engaged. Start your day with a gentle stretch. Reach your arms overhead. Extend your spine, lean to the sides, feel the muscles awaken and the blood flow stir. That simple act primes your nervous system and signals your brain that you are present, that you are alive, that you are ready. Throughout the day, take short balance pauses, standing on one foot, shifting your weight gently, letting your body feel the subtle challenge of coordination. These micro moments strengthen neural pathways in ways most people overlook. Pair movement with awareness. Take short walks outside and notice the world around you. Let gratitude flow naturally as you move. The combination of motion and mindful appreciation floods your brain with dopamine in a way that no screen or snack ever could. Even small motions while sitting can make a big difference. Gentle seated twists, micro bends, slow partial squats, or just standing and moving every hour interrupts the stillness that dulls both body and brain. And at the end of the day, slow stretches paired with deep, rhythmic breathing reset your nervous system and prepare your mind and body for restorative sleep. Sleep, after all, is another critical piece of the dopamine puzzle. Without it, your brain's reward system cannot repair and your energy remains muted. Movement alone is powerful, but it works best alongside mindful nutrition. What you eat directly influences your brain's chemistry. Protein-rich foods, healthy fats, colorful vegetables, and fruits fuel neurotransmitters like dopamine. 4. Keeping motivation and pleasure circuits alive. Omega-3 fatty acids found in fish, flaxseed, or walnuts nourish the brain, while antioxidants in berries, leafy greens, 4. And colorful produce protect it from inflammation that can dull cognition and energy. Hydration is just as important. Every cell in your body, every neurotransmitter, 4. Functions better when you are adequately hydrated. And small habits, like drinking water consistently throughout the day or sipping green tea before, create a ripple effect of vitality that your mind will respond to. Lifestyle habits amplify the benefits of movement and nutrition. Avoiding prolonged sitting, limiting excessive screen time, 4. And incorporating brief mindful pauses during the day all support a healthy dopamine cycle. Engaging socially, laughing, sharing moments with friends, family, or community, and pursuing small creative acts, painting, cooking, gardening, release dopamine naturally. Even curiosity, learning something new, or challenging yourself gently fosters neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to form new connections, keeping both motivation and cognition strong. Mindset, however, is the glue that holds it all together. After 50, for many people start to tell themselves that their best days are behind them, that energy inevitably declines, that change is impossible. This is not true. The brain is adaptive, resilient, before and capable of renewal at any age. Your dopamine circuits respond to your beliefs and behaviors. Thinking positively, cultivating gratitude, celebrating small victories, 4. And focusing on what you can do, not what you cannot, rewires neural patterns toward engagement and fulfillment. The way you talk to yourself, the way you envision your day, 4. Your capacity for curiosity and playfulness directly influences the chemical balance that determines motivation and joy. So how do all these pieces come together? 4. It starts with 6 simple motion habits you can weave into your day. Gentle stretching in the morning, short balance exercises, mindful walks paired with gratitude, seated spinal twists, micro bends during periods of sitting, and slow evening stretches before sleep. Each movement may seem small on its own, but cumulatively, they reset your dopamine, awaken your nervous system, 4. And signal your brain that life is not just to be endured, but to be felt fully. Pair these movements with a diet rich in protein, healthy fats, colorful produce, and hydration, 4. And complement them with social engagement, creative acts, and mindful breaks throughout the day. Layer on a positive mindset that focuses on gratitude, growth, and curiosity, and suddenly, life after 50 doesn't feel like decline. It feels like a new beginning. You may think you've missed the boat, that the habits of your youth are gone forever, but the reality is that your brain, your body, and your spirit are capable of astonishing renewal. Every small step, every stretch, every mindful bite, 4. Every intentional breath is a signal to your nervous system and your reward circuitry. You are alive, you are capable, and you deserve joy. The dopamine reset is not a one-time event. It is a lifestyle, a commitment to moving, eating, thinking, and living with intention. And over time, the results compound. Energy increases, motivation returns, focus sharpens, sleep improves. 4. Mood stabilizes. The dull haze lifts and you begin to feel the vibrant, engaged, alive person you've always been beneath the fatigue and the habits of stillness. So if you are over 50 and ready to feel alive again, start today. Begin with movement, stretch, bend, walk, stand, shift your weight, pair motion with gratitude, nourish your brain with healthy foods, hydrate, laugh, create, learn, cultivate positivity and curiosity. These habits are not just about living longer. They are about living better. Before every action you take sends signals to your brain, resetting dopamine, reigniting motivation, and reminding you that life, at any age, is meant to be experienced fully. 4. Your best days are not behind you. They are in front of you. Every stretch, every mindful step, every healthy choice, every positive thought is a brick in the foundation of vitality, energy, and joy. 4. Over 50 is not a decline, it's a doorway. Step through it intentionally, move with purpose, nourish your brain, and watch as your dopamine reset transforms not only your body, but your mind. Before in your life you have the power, you have the tools, and you have the choice. Today move, today nourish, today feel alive. Movement is far more than a way to burn calories or maintain a certain shape. It is a language your body and brain speak together, a signal that life is present and active. 4. And for those over 50, it becomes a powerful tool to reset the very chemical that drives motivation, pleasure, and engagement, which is dopamine. 4. A neurotransmitter that regulates not just how we feel, but how we respond to challenges, how we pursue goals, and how energized we feel throughout the day. And yet, in modern life, 4. Many of us have become addicted to stillness, sitting for hours at work, at home, in front of screens, scrolling endlessly, 4. Consuming constant stimulation that gives brief spikes of reward but leaves the brain's baseline depleted, creating fatigue, mental fog, and a sense that energy and enthusiasm are slipping away. 4. Which is why small intentional movements, simple daily rituals of stretching, balancing, walking, or even gentle bending can create profound changes in brain chemistry, signaling to neural circuits that life is active, engaging, and worthy of attention. And the beauty of these movements is that they do not require intensity or complexity. They can be done anywhere, before, at any pace, and still produce a cascade of chemical and neurological benefits, from increased blood flow to the brain to enhanced connectivity between regions responsible for movement, balance, and reward, and by incorporating micro moments throughout the day, such as standing and shifting weight, doing a few gentle squats, twisting the spine while seated, or taking short walks outside while noticing your surroundings, you are training your nervous system to remain active, awake, and responsive, essentially retraining your brain to expect engagement and reward from motion rather than passive consumption. And over time, this rewires neural pathways, strengthens dopamine tone, and improves your overall sense of vitality, energy, and motivation, allowing you to feel more present and alive in every aspect of life. And when paired with mindful awareness, such as focusing on your breath, appreciating the sensations in your body, or noticing the small details of your environment, these movements become more than exercise. They become a form of meditation in motion, a practice that integrates body and mind, and each small habit compounds, so that a few minutes of stretching in the morning, a balanced pause midday, a walk in gratitude, a micro bend while sitting, and slow evening stretches are not just isolated acts, but a continuous signal to your brain that you are engaged, capable, and vibrant. And this repetition strengthens neural pathways, reinforces dopamine circuits, and builds a rhythm of movement that keeps energy levels high, motivation consistent, and mental clarity sharp. And even subtle differences like varying the movements, adjusting pace, or adding mindful breathing further enhance the benefit, creating a positive feedback loop where motion fuels motivation. Motivation fuels more motion, and the brain and body respond in ways that feel effortless yet transformative, making the process of aging feel less like decline and more like an opportunity to reconnect with vitality, rediscover energy, and reclaim the joy of simply being alive and active, reminding us that movement is not a luxury or a task to endure. It is a necessity, a restorative force, and a daily choice that literally rewires the brain to feel engaged, alert, and alive in ways that nothing passive can replicate. And by committing to these small, intentional daily movements, anyone over 50 can create a profound, lasting impact on their brain chemistry, their energy, and their overall quality of life. The foods we choose every day are not just fuel, they are signals, they are building blocks for the brain, the body, and the very chemistry that determines how motivated, focused, and alive we feel. And for those over 50, nutrition becomes a powerful lever to influence dopamine, the neurotransmitter that governs reward, engagement, and energy. And yet many people rely on convenience foods, processed snacks, and sugar-laden drinks that spike dopamine temporarily but crash the system quickly, leaving the brain depleted and craving more stimulation, which leads to fatigue, fogginess, and low motivation. But by choosing foods rich in protein, healthy fats, complex carbohydrates, and colorful vegetables and fruits, we provide the raw materials our brain needs to synthesize dopamine, serotonin, and other neurotransmitters that keep us alert, motivated, and emotionally balanced. And proteins like eggs, fish, legumes, and lean meats provide amino acids, particularly tyrosine, which is essential for dopamine production, while omega-3 fatty acids from fish, walnuts, chia seeds, and flaxseed nourish neural membranes, supporting communication between neurons, protecting cognitive function and improving mood. And antioxidants in berries, leafy greens, and colorful reduce inflammation in the brain, which can dull energy and slow motivation. And fiber supports gut health, which recent research shows is deeply connected to brain chemistry, helping regulate mood and reward circuits. And hydration cannot be overlooked, because even mild dehydration impacts focus, mood, and the release of dopamine, which is why drinking water consistently, incorporating herbal teas, and eating hydrating foods like cucumbers and melons contribute to overall mental and physical vitality. And by combining a diet rich in these brain-supportive foods with movement, social engagement, and mindful habits, the result is a brain that is consistently nourished, a nervous system that is active, and a dopamine system that is balanced and resilient, allowing older adults to feel motivated, energetic, and alive, with cravings controlled naturally, mental clarity sharpened, and mood stabilized. And this is not about perfection or restriction, but about consistently making choices that support brain chemistry, where even small shifts like adding a handful of nuts or a colorful salad to a meal create compounding benefits, reinforcing dopamine production, improving energy, and enhancing both physical and cognitive performance. And over time, this becomes a lifestyle, a foundation for living fully, for feeling engaged, for maintaining focus and drive, and for experiencing joy in everyday activities, reminding anyone over 50 that what they put on their plate is as important as what they put into their body through movement and mindset. and that food can be medicine, fuel, 4, and a daily signal to the brain that life is vibrant, worth engaging with, and full of potential. Daily habits shape more than routines. They shape the brain, the body, and the nervous system. 4. And for people over 50, integrating simple lifestyle habits alongside movement and nutrition magnifies the benefits of a dopamine reset. 4. Because our brains are highly responsive to patterns and repetition, and habits like breaking prolonged sitting with micro movements, limiting screen time before, and taking short mindful pauses during the day send signals that life is active, engaging, and worth attention, while social interaction, laughter, and connection with family, friends. 4. Community provide natural dopamine bursts, reinforce reward circuits, and support emotional health and creative pursuits, whether it is painting, cooking, gardening, or learning a new skill. 4. Challenge the brain, increase neuroplasticity, and strengthen pathways that maintain motivation and focus, and even small daily rituals like making your bed, organizing a space. 4. Or setting intentions for the day, provide consistency and predictability that reduce stress, improve focus, and enhance the nervous system's ability to respond positively to dopamine signals. 4. And the compounding effect of these lifestyle habits is profound because the brain responds not just to isolated movements or meals but to patterns, consistency, and engagement. 4. Meaning that the combination of intentional motion, brain-supportive nutrition, and deliberate lifestyle choices creates a foundation where dopamine levels are sustained, mental clarity improves, 4. Fatigue decreases, and motivation and joy return naturally, and this integrated approach transforms daily life from a passive experience into an active, rewarding journey. Before giving older adults the tools to feel alive, engaged, and in control, while simultaneously reinforcing habits that maintain long-term health, energy, and resilience, creating a life where small, 4. Mindful actions accumulate to produce transformative, enduring results. The way we think shapes the way our brains function. And over 50, before, mindset becomes one of the most powerful levers to influence dopamine, motivation, and vitality because the brain interprets thoughts and beliefs as signals for action, engagement, and reward. And negative self-talk, fear of aging, or a sense that energy and opportunity are lost can suppress dopamine activity, creating lethargy, apathy, and low engagement. For while cultivating positive thoughts, curiosity, gratitude, and focusing on what is possible activates neural circuits, strengthens reward pathways. 4. And enhances the production and regulation of dopamine, and mindfulness practices, affirmations, journaling, or simply noticing small daily achievements reinforce these positive patterns, while reframing challenges as opportunities and celebrating incremental progress keeps the brain engaged, motivated, and ready to respond. And the integration of mindset with movement, nutrition, 4. And lifestyle habits creates a feedback loop where positive thinking drives action, action reinforces reward, and reward strengthens motivation, making daily life more vibrant, more energized. 4. And more fulfilling, and this is not about forcing happiness or ignoring reality, but about intentionally directing attention toward growth, engagement, and gratitude. 4. Sending clear signals to the nervous system and brain chemistry that life is worth pursuing, and that even over 50, the potential for energy, motivation, and joy is fully within reach. 4. Waiting to be awakened through consistent, intentional practice. A true transformation occurs when movement, nutrition, lifestyle habits, before and mindset are integrated into a cohesive daily practice that consistently signals to the brain that life is vibrant, engaging, and worth attention. And for those over 50, 4. This means combining simple stretches, balance exercises, walks, micro movements, and mindful motion with nutrient-dense meals, hydration, and brain-supportive foods, alongside daily habits that reduce stress, increase engagement, and stimulate creativity, all while cultivating a positive mindset that emphasizes gratitude, curiosity, and possibility. 4. And the result is a nervous system that is active, responsive, and resilient, a dopamine system that is balanced and motivating, and a life that feels full, energetic, and alive where motivation, before, focus, and joy are no longer fleeting but sustainable. And over time, these integrated practices compound, creating a lifestyle that supports both physical health and cognitive vitality. 4. Allowing older adults to feel empowered, capable, and fully alive, reminding us that aging is not about decline, but about the opportunity to live with intention, to move with purpose, before, to nourish the brain and body, to cultivate connection, and to embrace every day as an opportunity to reset dopamine, energize the mind, and reclaim the joy of life.